Hi guys, and welcome back to the kingdom. I hope you guys have had positive and productive weeks this week. So this week I'm going to be showing you guys how I made the removable flip sequin dust jackets for Caraval. Now I know I've been promising this concept for a long time on this channel, been teasing it, that I had something in mind for the Caraval series, and this is it. It's this flip sequin magical dust jacket to go on the hardback books. So here it is. This is the one for Caraval. As you can see, it's got this red sequin with the gold sequin flip. I have drawn a curly cut into it, but obviously you can smooth that over, smooth it up, and you get all of the shiny, magical, changing book cover. Now it is removable. It's just a little dust jacket that you slip on over the book board, so you can have something else underneath, spray the edges if you want. This is just sort of like a, but this is essentially what I've been working on. Now the reason it's taken me so long to put this video together is because of lockdown. Trying to find the flip sequin material was rather tricky. I did go on Etsy and I had to order from a few different stores trying to find one that I enjoyed working with, because if you guys haven't worked with the flip sequin fabric before, it is tricky with a capital T. You end up with sequins everywhere. You have to be really careful where you cut. As I finish doing this series, you'll see Legendary and Finale next week, because I tried something a little bit different with Finale and I'm not sure it worked. I personally quite like it, but it is a little bit off center, but for a try, no, you'll see that next week. But yeah, as you'll see in this, you get sequins absolutely everywhere. You have to be really careful where you cut. Things I have learned about this project: number one, make sure you get sequin fabric that is at the very least in straight line rows, even if it isn't like in columns, because that way you can find a partition. If you split the sequins, you can cut along there, and that gives you a pretty much a good straight line. The second thing that I've learned about working with this sort of sequiny fabric is you need really strong glue. So in this project, as it is made of material, you might think that it was a sewing project. As you will see in this time lapse, it was not a sewing project. All I needed was scissors, some one web, which is kind of like a hemming tape or fabric glue that you could iron on one side, peel back the paper and iron on the other. I think a meter of it from the fabric store only cost me about £8, so really affordable. So scissors, backing fabric, sequin fabric, one web glue and an iron. Those are the 5 things you need if you guys want to copy what I'm about to show you. Anywho, without further ado, let's hop into the time lapse. Okay, so the voiceover seemed to work last time, so I'm going to continue doing the voiceover now. So I'll kind of explain what I'm doing. So here I'm measuring out the fabric, the black fabric that I want to make the pockets out of. I want to focus on making the pockets and then adding the flip sequin fabric afterwards, because I think the black backing will be nice for any gaps that there'll be in the sequin fabric. So here I'm measuring out the length and height of the book. In fact, the best way to do this I find is using the dust jackets the book come in, because they already wrap around the book, so they're already the size you need. But if you don't want to do that, you can just wrap measuring tape around the outside of your book. Make sure you add 8 inches onto the length and you add 4 inches onto the height, to give yourself some hemming room and room to chop off, and also room to make the pockets. Then you fold over the ends, iron them and hem them down, and then you make your pockets. You wrap it around the book and mark out with a pencil where you need to put your hemming tape above and below, because that way you know how big you need to make your pockets. You turn it inside out and iron it. It kind of goes against the grain, this idea that you iron it with the side you want on the outside down, but as you can see, when you turn the pockets inside out, then it will fit perfectly and you see no hemming line, no glue, no sticky out bits. I also go ahead and I cut off some of the extra glue, because I used a really strong one, so I don't necessarily need all of that excess fabric potentially bulking up my pockets and making it look not so flat. Okay, and then after that it's a case of gluing on my fabric. I measured up very carefully, as you can see, the fabric. I did not get the cutting down right away, so what I ended up attempting to do is fold over the fabric, and actually that has worked really well. If you guys don't want to spend the time picking off the little sequins, which you're supposed to do when doing this fabric, but I was lazy and couldn't be bothered, so I thought, let's see if this works, and it does. I definitely wouldn't recommend it if you were trying to like sell this to somebody. But as this is a project just for me, I thought, what the heck, it's okay if I be a bit fragile with it. So what you then do is you use the iron to then glue the fabric down to the pillowcase type thing, the pocket you're going to put around your book. Make sure it sticks, lines up really nice and neatly to give you a finished product. Then I wrap the ends around on the inside because it doesn't matter to me if it's a little rough on the inside, so long as it goes from the outside. And that's kind of it. You get this fantastic, magical looking cover. Again, so we've got this glimmery red with a glimmery gold, and you can just like draw things in this. So if I try and put the sea back in, you can just sort of like draw whatever you want in here, and you get this sort of canvas that you can then play with and be arty with. So it's like an arty changeable canvas, and it can say whatever you want it to say on it. I really love this concept. As you guys know, I really love this series. I find that it's like a magical book, and a magical book deserves this sort of like magical flip type cover to it. You'll see the colours that I chose for Legendary and Finale next week, and as I said, Finale I tried something a little bit different. Also though, bear in mind that when recording the stuff for Finale, the camera did kind of die on me, which wasn't great, obviously. But you'll see the finished result, and I'll explain the methodology anyway. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoy this, and that you'll be back next week to see how I then perfected my technique when making the second and the third kind of removable fabric sequin jacket. It follows the same technique, however I do tweak things slightly, and I'll be sure to point that out in the next video. I'm not sure what else there is to say. Obviously the Twilight one is still to come. I hit a bit of a snag. I ran out of one of the colours of paint, and of course lockdown happened, so getting things restocked has been a bit of an issue, but that paint is on the way, and I really hope you like it. It's been again a bit more experimental because it was turning a paperback into a hardback, so I hope you guys enjoy that. I will also be showing you guys a couple of commission pieces that I've been doing recently, and I've got a whole shelf full of beautiful books to read. I don't know what happened. I think I just bought a lot of books in June and May, and I just haven't got around to reading them because of work and other such things. So I am really excited to get going with these. Anyway, I hope you guys have positive, productive weeks, and I'll see you next week. Bye!